All right, welcome back to the Level Up and Live podcast. I'm your host, Sean Meyers, and my purpose is to empower entrepreneurs to design a life they don't go to regret without sacrificing health, relationships, or spirituality. We do that through our Level Up and Live mastermind centered on accountability, clarity, support, guidance, and community. Today's guest has been in the trenches of high demand technical industry and has built something real here in Montgomery County. Chad Pope is the owner of Precision ATV, a power sports repair, fabrication, and customization business that services Montgomery County. Chad has over 15 years in the ATV, UTV, jet ski industry, earned master certifications, and worked his way up from technician to business owner. He and his wife, Renee, launched their shop in Willis, and now they run a full-service center with multiple repair bays, a fabrication arm using plasma cutters, 3D modeling, tube bending, and much more. In this conversation, we'll dig into Chad's past, the journey from technician to owner, the mistakes, doubt, identity shifts, how he balances family and faith, and how he's building legacy in a demanding industry. Chad, welcome to the show, brother.
How's it going, Sean?
So Chad, take us back. How did you first get into power sports, and what drew you to want to lead your own business, man?
Well, just kind of starting it off, probably back when I was 16, just riding four-wheelers in the creeks that you're not supposed to be riding around on, and breaking stuff, and learning that it was fun to work on, and one thing led to another. I realized that I am really good at working on this stuff, and I started taking on little side jobs here and there between my 9 to 5, and it just exploded from one thing to the next, and I was in the glass industry. My dad was a fabricator for the glass industry for 36 years. And I was like, is that the direction I need to go? And I was kind of following that path, and I couldn't stand it anymore. I wanted to do something with my hands, more automotive or more just mechanical. And I just kind of stepped off in it and kind of ran my first business straight into the ground because I didn't know what I was doing. I was at the age of 20. Really? And then kind of dove back into the glass industry, and then the power sports industry just sucked me back in, and I haven't left yet.
What was that first business that you said you drove into the ground?
It was Woodlands Custom ATVs, way back in the day. I was in the Cypress area. I was a young kid, just thought I could just turn wrenches and make money at it. And there's a whole lot more to it at the age of 20 there's a lot more to it. So I just did it as a DBA, and I did not know what I was doing. I've been off way more than I could chew.
Yeah. If a 20-year-old's listening to this right now and he went through the same thing and he drove his business into the ground, and one of our greatest fears is the fear of something not working out or doing something, and then the fear of rejection and it not working out. So we don't try, we don't get back up, and we try again. That Chad that's listening to this at 20 years old that went through that same experience, what would you tell that Chad right now, that Chad Pope?
Don't be scared to do it again. Do not be scared. I don't know how many entrepreneurs out there have started businesses, found out that was not correct, and did something else. Yeah. Do not be scared to step into it and do it again. Do not.
And he hears you and he's like, okay, Chad, I'm not scared. I'm going to do it again. I've been thinking about this. This is the podcast that I need to listen to or watch on YouTube. But how do I do things differently? What do I need to do? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So what do I do differently now?
Man, join mastermind group. This is like 100%. If you do not know any information, the mastermind groups, the mentors you follow will lead you in that direction. There's no other way around it. It's a direction that they have made already, and you have to follow kind of their guidelines, right? To make sure you don't mess it up again. I've learned so much in just a short time that you can't do it alone. You just can't. You have to go that direction. You can't, you don't know everything, and you'll never know everything. You have to keep an open mind. You have to always be learning, but it's incredible. It absolutely is.
At an early age, Chad, did your pride and ego drive you to a certain degree, and did you think you knew everything?
Yep. 100%. I was like, I know what I'm doing. I know. No, no, definitely not. Yeah. Little humbling experience, if you will.
Yes. Yeah, we know this much. And if you're watching us on YouTube, it's a grain of a sand. We don't
Yep.
know. We know a little bit about a lot, but ultimately, if you're a student of the game until the day we die, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus years of age, we'll always be a student of the game.
Always.
And knowing that, it's a beautiful understanding because it's like, okay, I can put my pride and ego over here and actually learn from people that are down the road that I want to go down.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fastest way to getting to where you want to go. And that's what I'm hearing you say. Is that correct?
100%. Yes, sir.
So I want you to tell me about your early days in the industry. Where did you realize you wanted more than being just a technician of your business?
Well, just as being in the power sports industry for, I think we're going on 16 years now, somewhere around there,
Wow.
that it's realizing what I don't want out of a business. That's kind of the direction I was going. As a technician, I knew that there has to be something different. Like it was just not working, but we were just in the insanity every single day. It was just so stressful. Yeah. And I told myself if I ever had the opportunity that I would do something different, make a difference in the power sports community. Like we try every single day to make the best impact on every single customer. Whenever I was a master tech in the industry, they didn't care. No one. I had to force my managers to send me to school to better the actual business because you get kickbacks, you get better pricing on parts, better pricing on warranty labor and all that stuff. I had to force them. I had to take money out of my own pocket to go. But they had to pay the bill to send me to school, but I had to pay for everything else, the flight, the food, all that stuff.
Wow.
And I was just like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to give the customers what they need. This is a humongous growing sport. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've got to be able to at least make some kind of impact.
Cool.
And that's what I've tried to do every single day is don't be the same business that everyone else is. Make a difference, make an impact.
Yeah.
And people will come back time and time again.
I love that you share that because that's going from the technician mindset to working in the business to working on the business. And I know a lot of our listeners and viewers on YouTube, they are going through that as well. And I think there's a certain time and place. There's a percentage. The E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber talks about this, how you have a percentage of your business that you're a technician, then you become the manager, then you become the entrepreneur. And you're in that transformation, you're in that phase where what you just said is working on the business. You're thinking outside of just working and turning a wrench. You're like, well, there's a better way. We've got to distinguish ourselves. We have got to be customer focused. We've got to provide a different experience. And that right there is working on your business and looking at things at 30,000 feet. And I just see this transition of your mindset here in just a short period of time. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm curious with what mentors or experiences really shape the way you view leadership now and craftsmanship in this space? I mean, you've been in business for, you said 16 years. Is that correct?
So I've been in business. We just started our fifth year.
Fifth year. Okay.
Yeah. Fifth year. I've been in the industry for almost 16.
That's right. So what mentors or experiences really shape the way you view leadership now and craftsmanship in the space that you're in?
So for the longest time, I mean, for 4.5 years, I was just kind of just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hope it sticks kind of mentality is just kind of trial by fire. But here recently, you know, I found you guys and found the mastermind group and that has just shifted my business so much. Your leadership, Christy Thornton's, Cody Schneider's. I mean, they saw that I am wanting to lean in, and they have reciprocated the same way and helped me kind of guide my direction of where I'm going and a little bit of mental clarity. Because as a business owner, you're pulled in so many different directions, and you can't have that clarity. You have to have some kind of mindset to get in the direction you want to go, because it's so foggy sometimes with so many things going on.
Yes, man, you hit the nail right on the head. I think that's one of the pillars that Level Up and Live is clarity. And I've been in business for 10 plus years now. And one of the things that I was unclear on is the direction that I was going. I know the mission that I was on, building the insurance company here locally in Montgomery County. And it was that one thing. And once I hit that one thing, which was the goal at the time, then I was like, well, now what? It's another mission. It's another thing.
Right.
But the problem is I was out of sync. I was out of alignment with where I was going and who I was wanting to become. In other words, I was only doing with what Sean wanted to do and not necessarily fulfilling in alignment with my values. And when you get super clear on who you need to become, in this case, what I'm obsessed about nowadays is leadership, because everything rises and falls on leadership in our businesses, when we have employees, in our family, with our kids, with our spouses. And it really comes down to just that. If you can lead from the front and be that level 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way up to level 5 leadership, then that's who people want to come and join the journey with in your business. And you just look at things differently from your business aspect of it versus what you've been doing the last 5 years and what I did the first 5 years, which is head down in the sand, in the grind.
Yeah.
You have no time to work on yourself. Who's guiding you? Where's the bumper cars? It's not there.
Yeah.
And luckily you have found that at such a young age. You know, most people don't even experience this until their 50s or 60s. I saw a statistic the other day. Patrick Bet-David shared this on YouTube, and he was breaking down what the percentages were of net worth of business owners, entrepreneurs, and people in general. I mean, it was less than 1%. And the average age, it was like 2 million plus. The average age, and he broke it down, and I'll have to reference this and put it in the show notes if we can find the link on it. But it was fascinating to me because the average age was 56, Chad.
Oh, wow.
56. So typically time doesn't get recognized until you pick your head up and go, oh, wait a minute. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you've recognized that it is a young age. And that's our hope too, is like, we don't have to do this alone. We don't have to be in isolation. Put the pride and ego to the side and let's go speed up the pathway to success and where we want to go. Get super clear, get some support, guidance, and the rest is history. Then we can just enjoy the journey, enjoy the suck along this way. Do you resonate with that? Any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I reached a point probably last year before I found the mastermind group that I'm just like, the hurt has to stop. It has to stop. Like it's either hang it up or gotta find a direction, and hanging it up is not in my mindset at all. I'm going to find out how to do it and do it in a very efficient way. And the mastermind group has helped that just so much. Just trying to find that mental clarity and the purpose and direction.
Do you feel like, from your experience in your business and 5+ years and just getting to know our community and other business owners as well, do you feel like we all have to go through that pain cave where we're like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results? Or do you think there's another way?
That's kind of, I mean, it all depends on the mindset of the person, right? I mean, there's the mindset that people have these days. I'm just going to do it alone. I don't need anybody else's help. That's a horrible mindset to have. It really is, man. It takes an army to do anything these days, especially in this society. Just be open, be willing to lean in, and you'll be so surprised how fast you can get through the hard times, because you have the support. There's no reason to do it by yourself, because you're going to have it's going to be so like 10 times harder to do it by yourself than it is with the community.
I agree with you, man. You hit the nail right on the head. Do you remember that moment you said last year in 2024? Do you remember that moment where you were at, who you were with, and what you were doing when you said, you know what, I've got to do something different?
Yep, 100%. I remember I was literally sitting in my hallway in my house, just absolutely losing my mind, just bawling my eyes out, just frustrated beyond recognition. I mean, I was just like, this has to stop. Like I can't do this anymore. Like there's got to be some other way. And then just trying to find ways of, mental clarity, trying to find my direction, where I need to go. And that's also when the business started really pivoting into more engine and transmission related stuff. So that was a whole new direction in itself. So, man, that was a low time in my life. It's really, when you really dove in, was like, this has to stop. This is not normal.
What did you do in that moment? So you had those emotions and those feelings, and those are real. That's what, and those, I resonate with that because I went through something similar. What did you do in that moment? Did you reach out to somebody? Did you go take a walk? Did you make a phone call? Did you text somebody? Like, what did you do? How did you get over that?
That was right before, I really started going to church a lot, trying to find community in the church and stuff like that. And that did help a lot, right? Trying to just putting my faith in the Lord, making sure that he has the direction of where I need to go, but also just trying to find my place, like try to find something that will give me mental clarity. And then I heard about the mastermind, and I was just like, man, that sounds pretty cool, but that's got to be too good to be true, right? And nope, it's not. It works really well.
So when you and Renee, I want to transition a little bit and talk about your wife and working alongside of your wife. When you and Renee decided to build Precision these last 5 years, I'm curious with you, can't speak for Renee because she's not here with us today. What were the biggest fears or unknowns you really faced starting to build Precision ATV?
Probably employees. I didn't know how it was going to be to have employees. I didn't have any idea. Yeah. I knew how to turn wrenches. I knew how to work on stuff. I knew how to get the job done. I didn't know how to run a business. Yeah. Didn't even know at all. And just to be 100% transparent, I never even finished 6th grade. Just putting it out there. I didn't know how, I didn't have a business degree. I didn't have anything like that. Just hard work. That's,
I'll say this on the last podcast. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yep.
You have talent. You have a specialized skills. ATVs, UTVs. That's your passion. That's your love for the game. And you're also a hard worker. I see that. You embody that. And then you've also invested in yourself. You've gotten curious. You've asked questions. You've sent a text message. My friend, that is becoming that 10.0 version of yourself. That is becoming boldness. That is courage. That is faith-fueled grit. Because when we talk about fears and when we talk about taking that leap of faith from not having any employees to having multiple employees, and you're responsible for their livelihoods and their paychecks to put food on their tables, that, my friend, is faith. And I'm so grateful that you brought that up today, because I don't think me and you are sitting here today if we don't have that faith in our life. If we don't have God, our creator, something bigger than ourselves, because we know Chad Pope, Sean Meyers, like when we're just inside ourselves, that's the ego and pride talking, and that's a recipe for disaster. So I'm so grateful that you brought that up, because without that faith, man, I don't know how people are doing it. I don't think they're doing it.
It's hard. Let me tell you, you can't do it alone, for sure.
No. So I'm curious, you're transitioning from technician to owner, which is a huge deal. I know you're going through this transition phase. Yep. I'm curious, what internal shifts had to happen for you internally? Because I know a lot of our viewers, a lot of our listeners are going through that same shift of doing the work 100% of the time. Even if we make that slight shift to, hey, you know what? I did 90% of the work. Now I'm 5% manager, 5% entrepreneur. Just shifting that percentage to majority entrepreneur working on the business is huge. I'm curious, what internal shifts had to happen for you, man, here recently?
So the biggest one that I've had to kind of conquer in my own head is the release of control, allowing the people that I have put in place do the job that they are here to do, that I pay them to do, and to allow them to make the mistakes and then me train them how to do it properly the next time. That has been the hardest. Like, you know, the whole saying, like helicopter mom, that was me.
I'll copy that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the helicopter owner there. I was just so scared to release that control, and if I did not do it, it was not done right. That was the biggest shift, and I'm still struggling with that every single day.
Yeah.
But I have to allow them to do the job, because there's more than one way to do a job, right? I mean, as long as at the end of the day, if they do the job properly, the customer gets the best product, the best service possible.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it, and then that's all you can ask, right? So that still is a struggle, and it'll probably continue to be. But I'm going to be the one that's always going to get my hands dirty. I'm never going to release full control, but that's just me. I have to get my hands dirty.
Yet. You're going to go back and listen to this episode 12 months from now.
Yeah. I'm going to still have my little toolbox in the corner, that kind of thing.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about designing a life that you don't go to regret, right, Chad? Is without sacrificing these other areas of life, of health, relationships, and spirituality. Is if you're the one fully in control, helicoptering the entire time, that to me is going to pull your peace. That's going to pull your vitality. That's going to pull your bliss, your happiness, because we both know that perfection just doesn't exist. And we have to understand, I have learned being a student of the game, we are all imperfect action takers. And our job as leaders, again, comes back to everything rises and falls on leaders. If we've got people on our team, we have to instill that trust in them. We have to build that trust. We have to empower them. We have to allow them to make mistakes, because we've made mistakes. And then we have to work on so hard on ourselves as leaders to be able to react to that appropriately, to be able to empower them to say, hey, let's not make that mistake again. What can we learn from that? And how can we rise above this and move forward together in unity, in alignment? And I think when you come from a power of that versus you did this, you did that, and you point the fingers, like which I used to do, man, it backfired me. It backfired on me so many times. And I still struggle with it to this day. I have to really challenge myself. And even scaling and building Level Up Live, I'm like, I'm getting challenged that like I've never been challenged before, brother. And the beautiful thing about it is I know I'm not alone. I know that I have a mastermind group. I have a community. I know that and more importantly, I know I can rely on my faith. I know I can rely on my creator, because our creator is not going to give anything to Chad Pope that he can't handle.
Correct.
And when you know that, it just puts the biggest smile on your face. You resonate?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I'm curious, because a lot of our business owners and entrepreneurs and emerging leaders, they face self-doubt, exhaustion, fatigue. You may be even going through that some right now. How do you reconnect with your calling, your purpose, and what you're doing at Precision ATV, or reset your identity in those moments?
So I actually had that experience this weekend. So I had a really big project that I finished for a gentleman, really good customer of ours. It was a one-off build. We did our own computer tuning. We built a full custom wiring harness on it. And that man sent me a video of this machine doing a race, took second in his very first race, and that just gave me goosebumps.
That's awesome.
When you get that kind of joy from a customer saying this thing just absolutely is a monster, that puts so much more wind under my wings, and just like let's go, let's kick the front door open and get this done. Like that's what it inspires me to do what I do, is when I have those kind of reactions. That's why I do the racing stuff that I do. We make the impossible happen. So I love every single minute of it. That's what gets me fueled every day.
I love that. And you share that, and you tie that to your emotion. I mean, you have full conviction in that. So when you face these hard days and struggles and trials and tribulations, just like any business owner does, that's what I just took away from what you just told me, is tying it back to why you're doing it in the first place.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, man, that's so powerful, dude. Thanks for sharing that.
Yep.
One of my final questions for you is, where do you see Precision ATV in the next 5 to 10 years? What kind of company do you want to build, brother? Take us through it. What does it look like?
So we're in a big transition right now with just engines and transmissions, a remanufacturing program that we have here at Precision. And there's so many issues with that aspect of the industry. There's so many, I wouldn't say bad companies, but there's so many issues that we are trying to overcome as a company, trying to get the best foot out there, right? The best product, and being different than everybody else.
That's
so
right.
we have this big transition going on right now. So we want to be the #1 engine remanufacturing facility in the United States.
Let's go. Let's go, baby. Come on. That's a big mission, brother.
My goal for the end of this year is 100 engines a month.
Wow.
That's my goal.
Incredible. I love that, man. I love that. That's a big mission. That's a Mount Everest right there. And that's what's going to keep you. That's what's going to keep you moving forward. And the question is, and for all of our listeners and audience out there, it's what's your mission? What's your vision? What's your emotional compelling nature? And then asking yourself, who does Chad Pope need to become to make that happen? You're going to need an army. You're going to need a team.
Big one.
Right?
Big one. Yep.
But it's now you're something to strive for. So, man, I really appreciate you sharing that with me.
Absolutely.
Well, Chad, man, the time has come to an end with us today. These things go a lot faster, especially when there's like going back and forth and opening up and sharing stories. I just love hearing from business owners like you because I resonate so much with that, and I know our listeners and audience will as well. So thank you for saying yes today. Thank you for sharing your story just so openly and authentically and very candidly today. So, I want to acknowledge you it's not easy what you're doing as a business owner and entrepreneur, especially in 5 years. You're going through this technical phase to manager to entrepreneur, and you're also staying true to the best of your ability in your heart and how you're showing up and speaking to people with your family and in your values. But you're doing it, brother. So I just wanted to acknowledge you for that, man. I'm really grateful to be on this journey with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Outside of that, man, how can our Level Up and Live community, how can we support you, man?
Man, just get the word out that what we're doing in the community. We're going to be trying to do some community stuff in 2026. We're going to do a couple of venues, just trying to get word out. We want to do a lot more community stuff here recently, and just trying to get known in the community for whatever. Just we're here for whatever. We want to help, especially in the Willis community, Conroe. Man, we really want to start stepping up our game, and we already have a big billboard out at the Willis baseball out there on Rogers Road, so we support them. You'll see a purple buggy riding around there that does all the yard maintenance. We painted that, put stickers all over it. We support them 100%. That's where my son plays. So,
awesome.
Just really want to help the community out as much as we can.
So 100 engines a month.
Yep.
Okay, there you have it, folks. Listen up. If you got an engine, reach out to Precision ATV, Chad Pope. They'll get you taken care of. 100 engines ain't going to happen easily over every month. But with your support, where there's a will and there's a way, you must believe it to achieve it.
Yes, sir.
And Chad Pope and his team is the company to do it. So I encourage all of our listeners and viewers today to take one thing from Chad's journey. Maybe it's leaning into identity before the role or investing in your craft over shortcuts and applying it this week. Let it stretch you. Let it challenge you. That's how you level up and become that 10.0 version of yourself. So check the show notes for links to Chad and Precision ATV. If this episode added value, share it, leave a rating, and subscribe so more high performers can hear stories like this. Until next time, stay on mission, build with purpose, and keep leveling up without losing what matters most. Thanks again, Chad.
See you, buddy.